Hey, Paula Williams with ABCI. Just wanted to talk a little bit today about CRMs. Everybody hates their CRM. Uh, Customer relationship management systems are often the most hated tools in a company's arsenal. And most of the people that either consult with us or work with us have either considered switching CRMs or have done it multiple times, whether they're using Salesforce, Zoho, HubSpot, Keap, Pipedrive, Constant Contact, Mailchimp. Everybody hates what they have. Everybody wishes they were using something different. So why does this happen? To be honest, the tool doesn't matter as much as the process. So, there are companies that ran for years and still run on a whiteboard or a Google Doc or something very simple like that. The main thing about most of these tools is that they do have some automation and they do have some ways to make things easier. But it's usually not the tool that is the problem, it is something else. So there are three things that can be a problem. And I want to talk about each of those today. And if you hate your CRM, it is probably because of one or more than one of these three things. So the first thing is inadequate, overblown, or missing processes. So a lot of people will buy a CRM and their marketing is usually really good. They promise the world, they say they're going to make sales easier. They have pre-built processes or sales processes that you can just use out of the box. A lot of people just take the defaults. The problem for us in the aviation industry is that most of those defaults are set up for retail or set up for that CRM's most common customer, which is not the aviation industry. So you end up with a process that is either inadequate, doesn't cover a long enough length of time usually. We have long sales processes in the aviation industry, or it's overblown. There's a lot of things that people do in real estate or in selling cars and things like that that we don't need to do in aviation. Our customers are smarter than the average bear. We don't need to babysit them quite so much, but we do sometimes need to allow them the time and space to make a good decision. And the other thing would be missing processes or missing pieces of processes. So your CRM doesn't include some of the key steps that you need to do in order to make a sale. So that's item one, inadequate, overblown, or missing processes. Item two, unpleasant tasks or misaligned assignments. So if you are assigning your receptionist or somebody to be making cold calls, and that is not something they have training in, not something that their personality is really designed to do, you're going to fail. It doesn't matter what the process is. If you've got the wrong people in the wrong places, doing the wrong things, it doesn't take into account, those personal preferences and also those training gaps and other things. You can assign all you want for somebody to make cold calls. If they are not going to do it, your process isn't going to work. They're going to blame the software, or they're going to blame the amount of time that they have to get the work done. Or if they're honest, they're going to just say, you know what, that's not my thing, I'm not going to do it. So, that's another possibility. The third thing is accountability. None of us like to be held accountable. This includes myself. I am not a fan of somebody calling me out and telling me that I should have done X, Y, or Z, whether that's software or whether that's my manager or anything else. So most people dislike being held accountable. Managers often struggle with holding their people accountable. Salespeople often struggle with being held accountable. So CRMs, by their very nature, track accountability or activity and progress, making it very clear what was done and what wasn't done. So, it's just so easy to blame the CRM for inaccuracies or for, any of the other things. Well, it didn't take into account that I had 47 other tasks that I needed to do last week that took precedence over making my sales calls. So, rather than say that, I will just say that darn CRM is just inaccurate, or my data didn't get saved, or other things didn't happen that were supposed to. So it's an inevitable friction when you are trying to hold people accountable, when you're trying to set up a process, other things like that. So the most important thing, number one, is to get the process right. So we had talked about that, getting the right steps, that everybody agrees to and that everybody has the training to do and that everybody understands this is my role, this is why it's important. I am not just doing things because a robot is telling me to. I have agreed to this because I understand how it fits into our process. And I know that if I make 8 sales appointments in August of 2024, then we are going to have more business 8 months from now. And I can track that across a long period of time. I've built that credibility with myself and with my team. And we know that that is the way it works. So I need to be held accountable. And I understand that it's me, it's not the CRM, right? So yeah, fix the processes and fix the people, fix the training, fix the other things. Whatever CRM you're using, I can guarantee you that using it correctly and using it accurately and putting the right process into it is going to be a far better improvement than switching from one to another every 6 months because you're unhappy or you think that something else is going to be better. Every once in a while, we run into a functionality problem where a different tool would serve the purpose better. But I would say probably 6, 7, 8 times out of 10, it's not the tool, it's the process. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.